let me show you my little home studio. Yesterday, a journalist from my local newspaper called me and wanted to do a piece on my small business. I got my biggest Etsy order so far. Today is a weird day. They're so cute! I got a custom order earlier today for 2 small bunnies. Hello creative creatures and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Christina and I am the owner of Lealunelle Designs. I know my voice is a little scruffy, I'm going through a little bit of a cold again, so just bear with me. I know it's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. But anyways, this is a little bit of a different studio vlog. First off, I'm in my new home studio. I'll give you a little bit of a tour later on. Earlier I've talked about my basement studio and that's where I had everything earlier on, but I never really got the place like I wanted it to and it didn't really feel like a real studio in a sense. But then our daughters started sharing a bedroom, mainly for practical reasons because it's easier for me to get them to sleep when Michael is away at work for a week at a time, which he does sometimes, not that often, but it happens. So now I have my own home studio on our 2nd floor and it feels very right. It has a lot more light. I am thinking about painting because this room is quite dark. It has this really dark blue color, but I haven't really decided yet. But anyways, we'll do the tour later. It is not done yet, but I'll show you where we're at. But for now, I need to get this space or my home in general ready because I had a pretty surprising and exciting phone call yesterday. So yesterday, a journalist from my local newspaper called me and wanted to do a piece on my small business. I have no idea how they discovered my business. I might have to ask them about that when they get here, but I'm really excited and a little bit nervous, to be honest. And I also cut my bangs, did it myself because I can't really afford to go to a hairdresser right now. My eye is running, that's great. It's been a weird morning, a lot of big emotions in the morning. Just have to keep track of the time so that I know that I still have time to get things ready. But yeah, we had a morning of a lot of big emotions. And then I got home and started to get ready. And then my hair straightener, which I use on my bangs, died on me. I've had it for like 20 years and it's worked perfectly. And today of all days is the day that it decided to die on me. I mean, I've been waiting for it to die. It has definitely done its job. I think I paid like $100 for it about 20 years ago. I guess it was just an event waiting to happen, but it could have chosen a different day to die on me. So I had to straighten my bangs with my curling iron, which was challenging. Straightening with a curling iron is definitely more complicated and difficult than curling with a straightening iron. Okay, my voice is giving out. I think I need to save the little bit of voice I have left for the interview. So I'm gonna tidy up my home and get it ready for this visit, and I'll see you later. Okay, so the interview is done. She was here for about an hour, and we talked a lot, and she took some pictures, and I'm still kind of nervous to see how the pictures turned out and how everything just turns out, but that was definitely a fun experience. And something that I didn't have on my bucket list for this year, but I'm super grateful. Apparently they found me on Instagram, so there you go. I ended up getting like a coughing fit in the middle of the interview, of course, probably because my voice got a little bit strained from talking so much. I don't really talk that much every day when I'm all by myself working, except when I'm talking to the camera, and that's not for that long of a period usually. So I ended up getting like this massive coughing fit in the middle of it all. But she was very understanding and really, really nice, so I had a great time. I'm not sure which day it's gonna be posted, but I'm very curious to see if this will attract some more traffic to my shop, if I'm gonna see any difference. Oh, and also I have some more exciting news. I got my biggest Etsy order so far during the night. I woke up at around 5 a.m. I was tossing and turning a little bit because of my coughing, and and I checked my phone. Usually I don't do that in the middle of the night, except for maybe look at the time, because I know that's gonna wake me up. And then I saw this big order. So this is someone from the States that ordered this massive order for me. So it's this gorgeous, cute dragon in this like turquoise and purple egg. Also a cheeky frog bag charm. I'm gonna film this with my phone just because the stabilization is better on the phone than if I try to carry my big camera around. So let me show you my little home studio. Bear with me, it's a work in progress still, but here is my workstation. So I have my iMac, there's the camera that I usually film on, and I've been working up some baby Cthulhu's here. So that's my little setup here. Have some yarn that I'm working on, baby blanket, just miscellaneous stuff that I use while I work. Oh. I also recently got like a kilo of polyfill, and I've used like half of it already. I have my walking pad because I started like walking while I'm working because I got this standing desk, which I bought secondhand for about $50, which great. Now I can get a workout done. We have yarn here, notebooks, my pegboards here. They are still a work in progress. I have some tools here, so we're going to put some yarn there. This is going to be my packing station. So in here, you might recognize this desk. I use this in my living room, but in here I have like my packing tape, my weight, other tape, stickers, and my mailer bags. I currently don't have a great space for my boxes, so they're right under here. And I need to find a space for my Cricut and my printer. Currently my printer is just here, so I need some better space for that. But yeah, this is what we got so far. And here are all the cheeky frogs that I have in stock. Well, this one is sold, but there they are. The orange one is coming to the shop soon. I've also placed an order at Hobby for a thinner velvet yarn in a lot more colors so that I can make the frogs and other like tiny plushies for bag charms in different colors than the ones that I had. And I also made, let's see, I also made a tiny cat. So cute. But yeah, I'm gonna get to work, but this is my little home studio. So this is where I'm going to do most of my filming from now on. I will probably use the living room a little bit as well, but it feels really nice to have a designated work area that isn't in the basement. So I'm really happy. I'm having an issue with this skein of yarn. I think it's Baby Snuggles. I always confuse Baby Snuggles and Honey Bunny when I don't have the label on it, but I think this one is Baby Snuggles. But the whole skein is so twisted. Like, can you see that? So it like bunches up. Let's see here. If I take this out, look at this. So I have to constantly stop working and then just let this thing unravel itself just a little bit. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just very annoying. And it's making this project take a lot longer than it needs to be. Now, usually I make these cheeky turtles pretty fast, but having to like unwind this yarn constantly, it's annoying. But yeah, I just needed to vent. I was annoyed. Let's get back to work. Oh my goodness. I have to be a little bit quiet because the girls are sleeping and their room is on the same floor as my office. But I don't know what's going on today. But I just got an Etsy order. And this guy finally sold. I've had him with me at several markets now and had him online for a while, but he just didn't sell. And now someone ordered it on Etsy, so this fluffy little, not so little, this fluffy big guy, he's traveling all the way to the US. I think I might have to buy a bigger box than the ones I have to actually fit him into it. Today is a weird day. It's been like extremely highs and lows emotionally. I don't know. It's weird, but I'm really grateful, so thank you. Right now I am assembling some stitch markers, so I'm restocking the Soot Sprites. So I have this black cat that like is the back. It's hard to see. Wait. I'm just gonna place you right here. Oops. There-ish. So I have these new ones. They're super cute. The white one might be easier to see. So there's a little cat with a butt, like looking over his butt. How cute is that? So I have that in both white and black cat as well. And then we're also gonna assemble the macaroons that I got a little while ago that I showed off in another vlog. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, I'm totally out of focus. So that's what I'm gonna do for the rest of the night, I think. But I just had to share the big news because I can't believe it. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. everyone, it is Wednesday. We had a market last Sunday. It went okay. The weather was really nice, met quite a lot of nice people there. The money wasn't that great. Like, we paid right under $20 to be there, and we made about, let's say, $110. So not the best profit, but still a little bit of profit. And we got some movement on some stock. But we do have a new market on April 19th. So right now I'm kind of stocking up for that. I've also started my project exam, so I need to work on that. That's going to last about 7 weeks. But right now I am working on some sitting bees, like I showed you. These little guys, and what I realized at the last market, I thought I had quite a bit of stock, but then again, I had sold quite a few things online. So when I set everything up, it was looking kind of sparse. So I want to build up stock and have multiples of the same things, because I feel like I have quite a bit of things, but it's a lot of different things. So I have like one of this and one of that, maybe two of something, but for it to look like there's a lot of things and to be more inviting, I want to have more multiples. So I've currently worked up 6 sitting bees. They just need their antennas and wings and then the rosy cheeks. So I'll get that done in the next half hour to an hour, I guess. And then I did get inquiry for a custom order. Someone asked me if I could make a bag charm similar to the cheeky frogs that I do, but instead of it being a frog, if it could be cherries. I thought that was a really cool idea. I haven't gotten the answer back from her yet, but I think I want to try to make it anyways to have in stock, because I think that would be really, really cute. So we're gonna try that. I do have some different kinds of yarn. I think this one that is a little bit on the pinker side of the red would be really nice for a couple of cherries, but this is a really fine velvet yarn. I ordered this thinking it would be quite similar. Sorry, my voice is still a little bit scruffy. This is, let me see, whoop. This is a mess is what it is. But this is the yarn that I typically use for my cheeky frogs. This is from Panduro, which is a Scandinavian like craft store chain. I then tried another velvet yarn that I found on Hobby. And it's slightly thicker. This needs to be wound up into a cake, but this is slightly thicker. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. So, not a major difference, but there is a difference there. I don't know if you can even tell on camera. Then, for some reason, well, I know the reason, because it was on sale. So, Hobby had a sale, as always, and that was for this yarn, which is the same as the orange one, but a little bit thinner. And I thought that this one was going to be more like this one, but it's actually even thinner. So it's really, really fine. And I had to size down to a 2mm. Might even be better doing like a 1.5mm. But then again, then things start to get really, really tiny, which can be fun. But I'm not sure that's what I'm going for. Now I have a whole bunch of this yarn though, so I'll have to figure out what I'm gonna do with it, but I think I wanna try to make the cherries with this one. I also have the other velvet one in a bright red, so that could work too, but I need to use this, and I think when I'm done using a lot of this Boheme Velvet Fine, I will order more of the Boheme Velvet Double, which is the one that I had in orange. Because even though that one builds up a little thicker and the plushies get a little bit bigger, I think I like the look of that more than the teeny tiny ones. I'm not sure. I need to experiment with it. But yeah, that was a lot of talk about velvet yarn. I need to get to work, and we're gonna try to make the cherry later on. I'm not sure what this is. Another thing before I start working, the article that my local newspaper is going to post hasn't come out yet, but yesterday I got to read through it.
online and just see if everything looked okay, and it looked great. So I'm excited to see it hopefully in both digital and physical form. It would be really fun to have like the physical newspaper to have. Like that would be a fun memento. But yeah, just wanted to share that, and I will definitely share updates about it later. Let's get to work. Good morning! It is Thursday. We spent the morning just tidying up the house a little bit, answering some emails, and then packaging up that order. Last night I finished all of the 6 bumblebees. And then a couple of days ago I did buy the Camille caterpillar pattern sorry, from Jade, and I've been seeing this going around on markets and on YouTube and Instagram, everywhere, and it looks so cute, and I thought I would make a few for my upcoming spring market. So let's get to it. Happy Friday! It's the next day and the article about my business is out. And I'm seeing quite a bit of traffic on my website. I've gotten a little bit of new followers on Instagram, so that's cool. And there's been, as of this moment, is now 12:46, and we've had 35 new sessions on my website. So that's cool. No orders yet, but I'm just really happy to see some new traffic. Yesterday I finished up the caterpillars. They're so cute. Look at that. It takes a little bit of time to make up, but not too bad. And after having a good conversation with ChatGPT, which I often use to help me write my product listings, I just love it. I always say, like, could you please and thank you to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT definitely answers more funny and more kind when you are kind to it. I don't know if that should terrify me or not, but I kind of love it at the moment. And oh, my battery's dying. Anyways, well, ChatGPT recommended the name Sir Wiggleton, the emotional support caterpillar, which I think was amazing. So I've added that to the site, and it suggested making Sir Wiggleton daily affirmation cards and gave me some really good ideas for that. So I think I'm gonna design that based on the idea that I got from ChatGPT, and maybe that could be like an addition to add to this, or even have them like some standalone stickers or sticker sheets. We'll see. But I just thought that was brilliant. But anyways, right now I've just been working on my site, updating it with some of the new plushies, and now I think I'm gonna attempt to make that cherry bag charm that I talked about a couple of days ago. and then we'll see what we have time for. Oh, and also, I don't know if the article is going to be in the printed version of the local newspaper. That newspaper only comes out like 3 days a week, so it's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So we're going to go tomorrow and see if it is in print as well, because I definitely need to have that if it is. But let's get to work.
I'm not sure if I like this tutorial. I think it's mainly because it uses half double crochets, and I think there's gonna be too many holes where the stuffing can like poke out. For these smaller objects, I like to work in single crochet so that it stays kind of snug. I'm not sure, and I think this one might turn out like too big.
You know what? We're just gonna wing it. We're gonna try to make our own pattern out of this because it shouldn't be that hard, right? Let's try. So whenever I take notes for a potential pattern, I'm not sure if I'm gonna release it. Maybe I'll just do like a free pattern on Instagram because there are so many like cherry patterns out there. So I don't feel right about getting paid for a pattern. There's like a million of them, so mine could potentially be very similar to someone else's, but we might do like a free Instagram pattern because I haven't done that before and I think that would be fun. But whenever I take notes for creating a pattern, well, I take notes on everything that I do. I take notes on the hook size, the yarn I use, the color I use, and I write it all down by hand. This is my handy dandy potential pattern book, and then I just write that in later on in InDesign. Usually is where I write down my pattern, or I write it as a Word document and then import it into the InDesign setup or the InDesign document that I'm going to use. So that is my process, and I think we're just gonna start. Like I said, there's like a million cherry crochet patterns out there or tutorials, so mine is probably not going to be like super unique, but we can at least make it our own and then we don't have to follow another pattern. So we're going to see what comes out of it. Maybe I'll do something with it. Maybe I'll just create cherries for my own. We'll see. Anyways, I'm gonna watch some YouTube, take some notes, and try to crochet a cherry. Oh my, it's 1:45 already. Time flies. Let's see what's the status on my shop at the moment. We now have 39 sessions, and it's mostly locally. I see there's like my town, the town next by, and then Oslo. There's a few sessions, so that's kind of cool. Anyways, let's create a cherry. My hair is not playing nice today, but anyways, happy Monday. The news article came out on Saturday in print. My office is a little bit of a mess right now because I've taken down some clothes from our attic, and yeah, it's a mess. But here is my local newspaper. And here is the article. The only thing I have to say, which is a bit disappointing, is like the final part here. There's been a mix-up when they sent off the print file, I guess. So part of the ending here, or the end paragraphs here, is from another article. So it's not the complete article that was online. So that was a little bit disappointing. But anyways, other than that, it's really cool to see my small business being featured in my local newspaper. So I'm thinking about maybe framing this to have here in my office, just because it's a fun milestone. I also have Simba here keeping me company. Mew was at the vet today to have her checkup after being spayed. Everything is great. So right now I am working on a custom order. I got a custom order earlier today for 2 small bunnies that I need to get shipped off today. So I'm working on those. There's going to be 1 yellow one and 1 white one. So I need to really get on that and get that done as soon as possible. It is almost 2 p.m. already, so I have about an hour and a half to get this done, and I think I should be able to if I don't get too distracted by anything. So let's get to work. So the order is packed up and ready to go, and I think this is where I'm gonna end this studio vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and for the next vlog we are doing Easter market prep. We have an Easter market next weekend, or the upcoming weekend, and we need to prep for it. So I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!